Hey yogi friends, I hope you had a great weekend, and I hope that you're relaxing this evening. It's Sunday evening, and as it's the end of the weekend, that means that we're preparing for the week ahead. And so I wanted to give you a practice that has the theme of powering up. So we're powering up for the week ahead, and I hope that you like this practice. It's going to be a power vinyasa flow, so it's a little more intermediate and challenging, and I hope that it gets you going and ready for the week. So we're going to start off by coming down to our knees. And I'll face you, but you can face the front of your mat. So in our knees, we are going to settle into our practice by closing our eyes or having our eyes partially closed, hands resting on our legs. Let's take in a deep breath, in through the nose and out the nose. And as you let it go out the nose, you're going to be making a little sound in the back of your throat that sounds like the ocean. Again, taking a deep breath through the nose and letting it go out the nose. Let's place both hands on our heart. And we're just going to sit here and just notice any sensations that come up in our body. Pay attention to what we need for this practice. And as we go through this flow, know that you can come down into child's pose at any time to take a break. Pay attention to what you need in particular. There are no shoulds or shouldn'ts in our practice. You do what's right for your body, and whatever comes up, comes up. So let's just nice and easy flutter open our eyes. Nice. Drop those hands down and around and up and overhead, stretching and reaching up energetically. And we're going to just take those hands, pretend like we're painting the wall, lowering them down in front of us, and take them back up, flowing up the wall and down the wall. One more time, up the wall and down the wall. And let's take those arms out to the sides and float them up to the air. We're going to paint to the sides and float down. Float up and down. Let's take that right hand and just put the fingertips right there on the mat as we reach that left hand up in the air and take a side bend over to the right, reaching and stretching, cracking open that left side while we're looking under that left arm and stretching and breathing into that side body. And float that left arm down as we float the right arm up, reaching over to the left side, looking under that right arm, breathing into the right side body, making space, pushing all that tension away, and opening yourself up for the possibilities for today and for the week to come. Float back to neutral. Bring those arms back up, reaching, and take a little bend back. And then float those hands back behind you, clasping them. And we're going to bend forward nice and easy as we bring the knuckles up to the sky and maybe drop them down overhead. Nice. Let those arms drop. And we're going to come up to our tabletop. And in our tabletop, we're bringing hands under shoulders and knees under hips. And we're going to take that right hand up to the sky, reaching up. Take a breath in, and as we come down, we're going to thread that needle, thread that arm through under the left arm. And when you're situated there, take that left arm up to the sky. And taking that a little deeper, reach behind you with that left arm, grabbing a hold of that right thigh and pulling. So we're getting a deeper twist here. Making more space in our body, preparing us for the challenging flow today. Hello, Daisy. And reach back up and come on back up to all fours. And take that left hand up to the sky and down to thread the needle. Taking under that right arm. When you're situated here, take that right hand up to the sky. I wish I could teach her yoga. And float that right hand down to grab your left thigh, to twist a little deeper. And release it all out. Take those hands back down to the mat. And we're going to press up out of the mat into our cat postures. But this time we're going to push up from our hands and the tops of our feet that are in contact with the mat. So floating those knees to hover, pushing up, holding it there, and dropping the knees back down, taking it up to cow, pushing that heart forward. And as you're pulling the hands, the heels of your hands back towards your knees, you're pushing your knees towards your hand. So you're getting in a nice energetic stretch here. Let's do that again, bending over to cat, pushing up and out of the shoulders and the feet, pulling that navel to spine, hovering over, and lower it down, coming back up to cow. Nice, and release. Tuck those toes under. We're going to gently push up to our first down dog. Push it up. And you can keep those feet bent as much as you need or want. We're going to pedal out the feet a bit. You also have the option to find stillness. You have the option to do anything that you want to. If you just want to sit on the mat today as we go through the practice, that's perfectly fine. Pedal those feet out. Warm up those legs and find stillness. Melting that heart down toward the mat, pushing those hands out. And we're going to hurtle over into a pose, coming over on our toes. In our plank, we're kind of pushing ourselves forward. So our hands should be under our shoulders. And we're going to push back over the hurdle into our down dog. This time we're going to float back over to plank. And we're going to do a push-up here. So lower it down halfway and push up and back to down dog. Let's do that again. Hurdle up and over to plank and lower halfway for a push-up and up and back over to down dog. Float that right foot up in the air, taking a three-legged dog, and let's open up that hip. So we're going to bend that right knee, taking it over, dropping that foot to the ground while lifting that knee to the sky. Then straighten that leg. And we're going to come forward to touch the knee to right elbow. Send it back to three-legged dog. Knee to left elbow. Three-legged dog. Knee to nose. Three-legged dog. And we're going to bring that knee all the way through between the hands, setting the foot right there. Coming into low lunge, push that heart forward. Sitting down as far as you can. And we're going to rise up into crescent lunge. And we're going to take a dip with our knee. So bend that knee, coming into goddess arms. And then come up. So we're going to do that a few more times. So down and up and down and up. And one more down. And hold it. Take one breath here. And up. Nice. Lower those hands to frame the foot. Take that right foot back and lower down to all the way to the push up for cobra. And lower back down. Tuck those toes. Let's just push back for child's pose. Giving our arms a little break. Pull back up, tuck those toes under, and push up to down dog. Let's move into the other side. Float that left foot all the way up. Drop that left foot toward the ground. Lift that knee up toward the ceiling. Straighten that leg for three-legged dog. And we're going to come down, bending the knee into our plank as we touch that left knee to left elbow. And send it back up to three-legged dog. Knee to right elbow. Three-legged dog. Knee to nose. Three-legged dog. And bring that foot all the way through between the hands. Come into low lunge. Settle into that low lunge, getting a good stretch in that back leg. And then we're going to rise up to crescent lunge. Organize yourself here because we're going to dip down with our goddess arms, Ready? And lower and up, down and up. And don't be afraid to adjust yourself if you need to. Down and up. And one more down and hold it. And up. Nice. And all the way down to frame the foot. Take that left foot back and lower all the way down to the belly. Lift up for cobra. Lower back down. Push back into child's pose. And tuck those toes under. Coming up for our down dog. We're going to walk those feet to the front of the mat. Come into flat back half lift. And lower. And rise all the way up. We're coming into sun salutations. Hands together. Bring them down to so, set yourself for this. Arms down and around and up. And take a swan dive forward. Half lift and lower. Step back and lower for chaturanga. And you can do cobra or up dog here. And push back for down dog. Now, if you want to hop, you can do that. And if you'd like to try, you want to come up on your toes, look to where you want to jump, and you're going to be kicking your heels towards your butt to land softly up front. I don't know how softly that was. That's okay. Half lift and lower. Rise up to high mountain and hands together to heart center. Arms down and around and up and swan dive forward to forward fold. Half lift and down and jump or step. Back to plank. Lower down for chaturanga. Lift up and push back. Hop or step to the front. And half lift. And lower. High mountain. Hands together. Heart center. Arms down and up. And dive forward. Half lift. And lower. Hop or step to the back. And lower down for chaturanga. Push back for down dog. Okay. Take a breath here. Good. Let's float that right leg up in the air for three-legged dog. And we're going to bend that knee and bring that foot all the way between our hands. We're going to drop that back heel and rise up to warrior one. Situate yourself here. Make sure you check your alignment. Make sure your hip points are pointing forward. And make sure that you have equal pressure on your feet. So we're balancing everything out here. And take a little arch back. And reach forward. And as you come forward, sweep those fingertips to the mat and swing them all the way back for airplane arms. Sweep them back up. Coming back up to warrior one. Let's do that again. Sweeping them out in front. Over. Touch the mat. Airplane arms. Sweep them back up. Reaching up to the sky. And one more. down, sweep the mat, airplane arms, and float them back up to the sky. Take a little bend back again and send them all the way down to frame the foot. Take that right foot back, lower down for chaturanga. Pushing up and back where we'll meet in down dog. Nice. Float that left foot up and bring it all the way through between the hands. Drop that back foot. Nice and easy. Rise up for warrior one. Check your alignment here. Making sure that that front heel is intersecting that back foot, hip points pointing forward. Take a little arch back and sweep those arms forward, doing the same thing we did on the other side. All the way around to sweep the mat, coming to airplane arms. Take them back up in front of you and up to the sky. Do it again, reaching out in front of you. Sweep the mat, airplane arms. Take them back out in front of you. Reach up. And one more, reach out in front of you. Sweep the mat, airplane arms. And all the way up. Take a little lift back and bend forward, flanking that foot, taking both feet back, lowering for chaturanga. Push up and push back. Okay, little bit of a challenge today. All right, float that right foot up and bring it all the way through between your hands. Again, place that back heel down. Come on up for warrior one. And we're going to see if we can sink a little deeper in this pose. So we're going to take a lift up on that back toe. And we're going to come into goddess arms again. So when we sink down, take those arms back, shine that chest forward, pull that back heel back. Got it? So let's do a few of those. Lift those arms up as we come up on that toe and set back down. Bringing those arms back, shining that heart up. Again, up. And pull back. Nice. Send those arms up. And we're going to open all the way to warrior two. And this time, we're going to come to five-pointed star. Sorry, I have my back to you. And we're going to do the same on the other side. Come over into warrior two. Watch your alignment here. I notice sometimes I'm getting sloppy. And then bring those arms up to warrior one. So we're facing the other way. All right. Let's do the same on this side. So we're going to take a lift with our toes and go a little deeper into the stretch as we bring our arms back, shining that heart up to the sky. Take a lift up and set it back down. Lift up and back down. Lift up, set it back down. Arms reach overhead. Come into warrior two. Come into five-pointed star. Come into warrior two. So we're facing the front of our mat. Cartwheel those hands all the way down to the mat. Take that right foot back and lower it all down for chaturanga. Take a lift up and push back. Let's take those piggies for a walk to the front of the mat. And we're going to gently roll up. Coming into low mountain, shoulders and head is the last to go. Just take a moment here, just noticing whatever comes up. Catch your breath. We're going to take that right knee and lift it, placing our hands on our hips, finding some balance. So this is a balancing pose as we're strengthening that standing leg. And you may want to reach out and grab that right knee, pull it towards you. And then send that leg out straight as you reach up to the sky with those hands. And you can point or flex your foot. Actually, I like to do both, but you can do what works for you. And then bend that knee again. Bring those hands to heart center. Send that leg out behind you, coming into our warrior three. Hinging at the hip, bending over as we balance here. And my balance isn't so great on this side. Hold it there. And drop that leg, raising the hands overhead, swan dive forward. Take a half lift up and lower down, step or hop to the back, coming down for chaturanga. Take a lift up and push back. Walk those feet to the front of the mat again. Roll up one vertebra at a time. Finding low mountain. Organize yourself here. Bring those hands to your hips. Bend that left knee and bring it on up to balance on the right. Reach around that knee with your hands, pulling it towards you, flexing that foot. Standing leg is getting some strength building while stretching that left leg. Send that left leg out in front of you while reaching those hands straight up overhead. And hold it. Bring those hands together, pulling them to heart center as you bend that left knee and send it out behind you for 3, balancing on that right foot, flexing that back foot. And drop that left leg to meet the right. Send those arms up to the sky. Take a swan dive down. Hands to the ground. Take a half lift and lower. Step or hop to the back and lower for chaturanga. Lift up and back to down dog. We're going to walk to the center of the mat, and I'm going to have you come to your mat a long way, and we're going to straddle on our mat. Take those arms out, and we're going to fold over, hinging at the hips. And bring those fingertips down to the ground. We're going to alternate our hands in this pose. So we're going to leave that left hand first on the ground and sweep that right hand up to the sky. Take a breath and switch sides. Right hand comes down, left hand goes up. Let's switch sides. Left down, right up. Switch. And switch. And both hands come to the ground. Let's see if we can bring the heels of our hands in line with the heels of our feet, pulling back. Dropping the head as low as possible. And then we're going to roll up. And let's take those feet. They're going to be pointing out to the corners of our mat while our arms come up. So we're coming into our 5-pointed star pose. And we're going to be squatting down. So taking a bend down, coming into goddess pose. And we're going to do a couple up and down here. So take it up, reaching energetically to 5-pointed star and back down. Seeing if you can get a little lower. Take it back up and lower down. Take it up, lower down. And let's hold it there. Place your hands on your knees. See if you can drop your sits bones a little lower. So a lot of the weight will be in your heels as you're lowering down. From here, we're going to do shoulder to knee alternating. So taking your right shoulder, aim for that left knee and right to left. And up. Left shoulder to right knee. And up. Right shoulder to left knee. And up, and do that a few more times. And one more. And back all the way up to 5-pointed star. We're going to take our feet and our arms into a warrior two pose over to the left. So coming into that warrior two pose, finding alignment, we're going to take those hands behind us. And as we do that, we're going to straighten that front leg, and we're going to take a bend over to the left as we lift those knuckles up to the ground. So we're stretching that front leg. And drop those knuckles over the head. Bend that front knee. Your core is doing the work here, lifting you up. Straighten that leg. Come forward with that torso. Switch feet and switch sides. Come into warrior two. Hold it. And then we're going to swim those hands behind us as we straighten that right leg. And we're going to hinge at the hips, bending down as the knuckles come up to the sky. And bend into that knee, lift up with your core, and come into 5-pointed star. Nice. and we're gonna drop down into our yogi squat. So come on down. You might have to heel toe those feet together. Bring those hands to heart center, pushing open the knees with your elbows and maybe finding some movement here. I always enjoy this. And find stillness. Straighten that back. Push open those knees. And we're going to do some lifts up and come down in this posture. So sending those arms out, and as we bring them up, we're going to stand up and come all the way up on our toes to balance. Hands to heart center and bring it back down to your squat again. Let's do that again. Send those arms out in front of you. Stand up all the way, coming up on your toes to balance. Hands together, heart center as you lower it down again. And we'll do that one more time. Hands out in front of you. Come all the way up to stand up on your tippy toes. Reaching up high, hands come together and they pull down to heart center as we lower back down for yogi squat. Nice. We're going to do a little shoulder stretch here. So releasing those hands, keeping those legs where they are. Swim that right arm around that right knee as we take that left hand, float it on back behind your back to meet the right hand, pulling everything, stretching out the shoulders, stretching out the legs. Nice, and release. And other side, swim that left arm back behind you around that left knee. Take the right hand to meet it around your back and pull, giving those shoulders a nice stretch. And release. Bring those hands back to prayer. Nice. And let's take that body all the way up, coming to reach for the sky. Bring those feet together at the top of your mat for high mountain. Take a forward fold, half lift, and bring it all down and back for our vinyasa. Lowering, lifting, and pushing back. So let's float to the top of our mat. Take a half lift and lower. We're going to come into our seated pose. So come into chair, arms overhead, hands together, pull it into heart center, twist to the right, hook that left elbow to the right knee. So we're going to do this alternating a few times. So come to neutral, stand up, hands together, sit down, hands to heart center. Twist, right elbow to left knee, hold it, take a breath, let go, come to neutral, stand up, arms reach, hands together, heart center. Come down into chair pose. Hands together, heart center, twist to the side. Hook that elbow. Come to neutral. Standing up for high mountain. Sit back down for chair. Hands to heart center. Twist to the left. Back to neutral. Stand up, reach up, hands together, heart center, and take those arms up and come on down for our forward fold. Half lift and down. Take it back for a vinyasa flow. Lowering down, lifting up, and pushing back. Whew. Let's walk to the front of the mat here. And we're going to take a little lift up and back down. Come into seated. We're just going to do our chair pose here. And then we're going to sink it all the way down. Coming to sit on the ground. Legs out in front of you. Coming down to cool down. Catch your breath. Take those arms up and over. And we're going to reach for that right leg, right ankle. Grab it with your left hand. Take your right hand out to do a twist. So reach out with the right hand as you're pulling up that leg in front of you. And sweep that right hand back. As you take that right foot, place it over that left knee, and we're going to do our twist, hooking that left elbow onto the right knee, looking out over that right shoulder. Well, I hope that this practice is an indication that we're going to rock the beginning of this week and release. Send that right leg out. Grab that left leg and hold it with the right hand as we take a twist with the left, reaching back behind us, pulling on that left ankle, holding that twist. And then release the hand forward as you bring that left foot over the right knee. Take that right elbow and hook it on the other side of the left knee and twist around to look out over that left shoulder. And release. We're going to bring both feet flat to the mat. Take those hands out in front of you, and we're going to come into boat pose. So send those legs up parallel to the ceiling, and you can hold it here, or send them straight up, hold it here. And we're going to come down to low boat, high boat, low boat, high boat, low boat, and high boat. And let's see if we can bring those hands to prayer. And we're going to alternate sides here. So if you don't want to hold them here, you can place your feet here, and you're still getting a great workout. So we're going to take a twist to the right. Touch that elbow over on the right side and twist to the left. Elbow touches the mat. Twist to the right and the left. And the right and the left. And then come sit up, and we're going to gently roll down one vertebra at a time. Bring those knees on in to give yourself a big hug and to take a breath. Feels good. And send those legs straight up in the air. And we're going to reach up to those feet, lift that head, and we're just going to do a little bit of pulsing up and down, up and down, and do it on your own. Make sure you're using your abs for this and you're not pulling on your neck. The arms are there to guide you, but the abs are doing the work. And release it all down. Bring those knees to chest. Let's come into our reclined butterfly. So bring those soles of the feet together, and we're going to bring them down to the ground, gently pushing those knees out. That's stretching. So we're going to do a little up and down. This is that subtle movement that, again, but it's subtle. But I've done it where I am sore the next day. So we're going to come into a cow posture, like a reclined cow. We're going to send that ab up to the sky as we curl the back and release. And now we're going to do our cat, pulling that navel to spine. And release. Come into cow. And release. Cat. I love it when we can combine the different poses. And release. One more. Cow. And back to cat. And really pull that navel to the back of your spine. One last effort. Release together. We're going to take those knees back up with legs parallel to the ceiling, and we're coming into our yogi bicycle. Bring those hands behind your neck to support. Take a little lift up. Send that right leg straight out, and take that right elbow to left knee and alternate left to right. And do these a few times, nice and slow. We're not trying to rush through this, but we are trying to keep a flow. And if you find your breath is getting choppy, just slow it down. And one more. And release, bringing the knees to chest. And take those legs out, straight and flat on the mat. Shimmy hands underneath those sits bones. And we're going to come into our fish pose. Lift that chest up. Stretch those legs out. Arch that back. And release. Nice. Let's bring those feet flat to the ground. And we're going to take one final power pose. And that is, we're going to come into shoulder stand. You can take the shoulder stand however you would like. You can lift yourself up with your hands or come on up using your core to pull you up. Get it up there. And hold it there. see how straight you can get. I feel like a champion, ready to take on the week. Who likes Mondays? I like Monday. It means I'm getting closer to the weekend. And bend those knees, dropping them down to your forehead. Send those pinky toes out behind you for plow pose. And release it all down to the mat. Rolling down gently. No hurry here. Send those legs out straight. Nice. Take a breath. Oh, let's bend those knees, feet hip width apart, arms either to cactus or big T. I'm running into the wall here, so cactus will have to do for me. Drop those knees to the left as you look to the right, stretching and twisting as we round out our practice. I don't know about you, but I worked up a sweat for that one. And release over to the other side. So I'm looking forward to Shavasana. Stretch and twist. And release. And any final pose that you would like to take, you can do that now. Maybe windshield wiper those legs a little bit. Finding your legs, shimmying all the way down to the end of the mat. Float those hands down by your sides, palms up for our final pose of Shavasana. Releasing everything. And take a few moments here to just enjoy the relaxation after that hard work. The hard work of powering up for the week. Just receiving that positive energy, letting it flow through your body. I feel good. Na, 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 na. All right, I'm going to close out our practice, but you are welcome to stay here as long as you like. I'm going to have you just move your hands and your feet. And we're going to bend those knees and drop them over to the side as we bring that top hand over and push ourselves up to seated. Sit up tall, feeling powerful, ready to take on the week. Thank you for joining me for this power vinyasa practice today. This was a little more challenging than what I usually do, and I'm loving it. So thank you again, and I look forward to seeing you on the mat. From my heart to yours, namaste.